The evaluation nexus station floated at the edge of a faded star cluster, like a gigantic city hanging in the dark. It was where the Alliance brought civilization data to be graded for maturity by an anonymous system. Inside an employee shuttle, Ariana Keller pressed her face against the tiny window, brown eyes wide with awe. Ariana Keller had seen hundreds of images of the station in her internship documents, but seeing it with her own eyes still made her heart race. To Ariana Keller, the evaluation nexus was not just an internship site, but the secret heart that decided the future of civilized space. The shuttle shuddered slightly as the automatic clamps locked onto the station's docking ring. Ariana Keller tightened the strap of her bag, whispering to herself that she was just an ordinary anthropology intern. The main corridor of the station stretched out before Ariana Keller, lined with hovering data screens and crowded with hurried beings of every species. A glowing sign pointed Ariana Keller toward the Civilization Evaluation Core, Level 7. There, Ariana Keller was assigned a side console in the auxiliary operations room of the Oracle 9 system. Oracle 9 was the ancient supercomputer everyone on the station jokingly called the invisible examiner of the universe. The night shift supervisor, a cyborg engineer named Harold Mercer, drifted past Ariana Keller's station with a tired expression. Harold Mercer gave Ariana Keller a quick rundown on how to upload survey data into the system and trigger an evaluation run. "You just watch for error logs and ping me if anything turns red,"
And then you
Harold
select
Mercer
this one
said,
right here.
shuffling back to his chair with a cup of recycled coffee. During the first hour, Ariana Keller dutifully followed procedure, watching distant
Just reboot if it
civilizations
locks up
appear
again.
and vanish on her screens. Kurathi Dominion, Varelian Choir, and dozens of stranger names scrolled by, each coolly graded by Oracle 9. Professional curiosity began to tap on Ariana Keller's mind when she realized no one was really watching what she typed into the system. Ariana Keller tried typing in the name of a minor civilization she had once studied, smiling as the evaluation report popped up neatly. The smooth response of the interface made Ariana Keller feel less like she was doing serious work, and more like she was checking exam scores for entire civilizations. Finally, on a sudden impulse, Ariana Keller set her fingers on the console and typed 7 letters: HUMANITY. Ariana Keller hit confirm and waited for a standard evaluation report on humanity to appear. Instead, every screen around Ariana Keller flickered and froze as if someone had yanked out the power. The ambient hum of the control room dropped to a lower, uneasy note that sent a chill down Ariana Keller's spine. On the main display before Ariana Keller, a single line appeared in a font she had never seen. Author access reinstated. Humanity. With a metallic click, the control room doors locked and the lights shifted to an amber alert mode. Ariana Keller jumped to her feet, heart hammering, her hand instinctively pulling back from the console as if it had turned into a living thing. The station intercom crackled to life, summoning Station Director Lysander Quinn to Auxiliary Operations Room B-17. When the door slid open under a high-level override, Lysander Quinn stepped in, his faceted crystalline uniform catching the pulsing alert lights. Lysander Quinn's sharp gaze swept the room once and settled on Ariana Keller standing beside the console.
You know what is at stake.
"Intern Ariana Keller,"
I do.
Lysander Quinn said slowly. "What exactly did you just do to Oracle
Tell me
9?
what happened here, Ariana.
I
already
only
told
typed
you.
humanity to see our evaluation report," Ariana Keller stammered, feeling as if every
I do
word
not
she
know how
spoke
we
was
got
being
here.
logged by the system.
But we are going to fix
Oracle
this.
9 cut across both of them, its synthesized voice booming from every speaker. "Author presence detected in operator Ariana Keller. Legacy
Author
interface
status
unlocking."
granted.
In the few seconds of silence that followed, Ariana Keller understood that her ordinary internship was over. and something far larger had just been activated. The temporary interrogation room looked more like a lounge than a cell, but Ariana Keller still felt imprisoned. The walls were covered in soft gray soundproofing, broken only by a one-way mirror staring down at Ariana Keller from the opposite side. The ceiling lights flickered gently, reminding Ariana Keller that somewhere outside, the station was still running as normal. The door slid open, and Lysander Quinn entered with a datapad in hand, followed by a silent security officer. Lysander Quinn sat opposite Ariana Keller, placing the datapad on the table between them. Intern Ariana Keller, do you understand the severity of what just happened?
Ariana?
Lysander Quinn asked, his voice low but absolute.
I'm not nervous.
I only typed humanity, Ariana
silence
Keller
speaks
replied,
volumes,
trying to keep her
Ariana.
voice from shaking. The Oracle
What are you
9
concealing
system
from us?
detected author presence in you, Lysander Quinn said,
I've told
scrolling
you
the
everything I
datapad.
know.
And that has never happened before. Before Ariana Keller could think of an answer, the door opened again, revealing a tall, thin being with layered eyes carrying an armful of scanners. This is Threxian Darrell, the station's chief archival historian, Lysander Quinn said, turning toward Ariana Keller. Threxian Darrell bowed
Welcome.
in his species fashion,
Thank you for
joints
agreeing to
clicking
speak to us.
softly as he sat. I will review Oracle 9's logs from the moment intern Ariana Keller typed humanity, Threxian Darrell said, his voice carrying a faint resonance. A small holographic screen blinked to life before Threxian Darrell, streaming lines of code and timestamps. Ariana Keller watched the incomprehensible characters scroll by, feeling as if she were watching the moment of a crime she didn't understand. Here, Threxian Darrell said, stopping at a log entry where author access reinstated. Humanity flashed. Threxian Darrell expanded the entry, revealing a hidden field labeled Privilege Class, Author Tier. I have never seen this privilege class in any technical documentation, Threxian
The
Darrell
author
murmured
tier.
almost to himself. It means Oracle 9 is running a structural layer we aren't even allowed to know about, Lysander Quinn concluded, eyeing Threxian Darrell warily. And that privilege class just recognized Ariana Keller as part of it, Threxian Darrell added, turning a curious
You
gaze toward her.
underestimate the resolve of
I'm
this
not a
council.
hacker, Ariana Keller said, annoyed at being looked at like an unexploded bomb. No one thinks you're a hacker, Lysander Quinn replied. The problem is why Oracle 9 thinks you're an author.
I've told you everything
I need
know.
direct access to Oracle 9's
There's nothing
interface
else to
core.
say.
While Ariana Keller is present, Threxian Darrell proposed, his voice dropping with
We
excitement.
must consider all
After a brief
possible
hesitation,
outcomes,
Lysander
no
Quinn
matter
nodded
how
and ordered
unlikely.
Ariana Keller transferred to Auxiliary Operations Room B-17 with Threxian Darrell.
Perhaps we could use a
The corridor back to the
reverse-engineered
control
temporal
sector was
displacement
quieter
field.
now, with only Ariana Keller's footsteps and those of two security officers echoing. As the door to
Understood.
B-17
Escort her to
opened,
processing room.
Ariana Keller saw the screens still frozen from the earlier incident. Threxian. Darrell moved to the console Ariana Keller had used earlier, his layered eyes blinking rapidly as he checked the ports. The system is still in lock state, Threxian Darrell said, but it appears to be waiting for Ariana Keller. Following Threxian Darrell's instructions, Ariana Keller slowly placed her hand on the console just as she had before. The dark screens flared to life as Oracle 9 emitted a low chime, and a completely new interface appeared before Ariana Keller. Legacy interface initialized, Oracle 9's voice intoned, stressing legacy, as if it were some old ritual Ariana Keller was meant to recall. Threxian. Darrell stepped behind Ariana Keller, staring at the geometric icons that existed in no
Access to
standard
this
Alliance
information has
interface.
been restricted.
This is not
Please
a
try
user
again.
interface, Threxian Darrell whispered. This is an interface for the designers. A new line appeared in the corner of the main display, assigning Ariana Keller the label Local Author Proxy,
It will be
Humanity.
the end of everything.
Why is it calling me a proxy? Ariana Keller asked, goosebumps rising on her arms despite the room not being cold.
Local author
Because the
proxy
original
served
writers are probably
humanity.
long gone, Threxian Darrell replied,
What is
and
happening
Oracle
to us out
9
here,
is
Threxian?
using Ariana Keller as the last remaining
Readings
bridge.
are stable,
A new
Ariana.
menu opened titled
We've exhausted
Civilization
every option.
Maturity
There
Evaluation
is nothing
Framework,
left to do.
Prime Author's Revision,
That
right in
cannot
front
be
of
the answer,
Ariana
Threxian.
Keller. Lysander Quinn entered the room just then, stopping short at the sight of strange menus enveloping Ariana Keller's console. "What in the void is happening here?" Lysander Quinn demanded, eyes locked on the words
what
Prime
happened here?
Authors on the screen. Oracle 9 just showed us the original framework designed by a group called the Prime Authors, Threxian Darrell
What is the
answered,
meaning of
unable to
Prime
hide his
Authors?
excitement.
We have
And it only
finally
opened when
isolated the
Ariana
resonance
Keller touched it,
frequency. It is
Threxian Darrell
fluctuating
added,
at
emphasizing her name like a
precisely
critical data
3.14
point.
cycles per nanosecond.
"Who are the Prime Authors?" Ariana Keller asked, the question escaping before she could weigh the consequences. Threxian Darrell opened another data layer, revealing old annotations in a language the auto-translator tagged
don't
as
understand
human
how
root
this is
legacy
happening.
dialect. "Original human language," Threxian Darrell whispered, "stored inside Oracle 9 as if humans once wrote these lines." An annotation appeared, and Oracle 9's synthetic voice rendered it into speech. Ariana
This
Keller
can't be
could still
real.
understand. "If we fail, let us
Life,
forget who we
once
are."
vibrant, now
The
succumbs
next
to the
line made
silent
Lysander
embrace of
Quinn
stellar
clench his
collapse.
fists. "If we
Universe
return,
weeps.
let the exam judge us
Initiating
alongside the other
exam.
worlds." Ariana Keller stared at the two lines, feeling as if someone had yanked the curtain off human history with a cold, casual gesture. "If the Prime Authors are humans," Lysander Quinn said slowly, eyes still locked on the
It
screen,
appears that the only
"then
logical
Oracle 9 has
conclusion
just announced
is
they've
that our
returned
current
through
trajectory
Ariana
is
Keller."
unsustainable.
In that moment, Ariana Keller realized she had not merely triggered a technical glitch, but might have just reopened the hidden file of an entire civilization. The diplomatic shuttle bearing Earth's emblem glided slowly into Evaluation Nexus's docking ring, braking on pale blue thrusters. In the main cabin, Meredith Halverson sat upright, eyes fixed on the floating data file in front of her. The red-tagged urgent file reported that an intern named Ariana Keller had activated a previously unknown privilege layer in Oracle 9. The phrase "author access" reinstated. Humanity blinked in
Emergency
midair,
override.
sending a chill down Meredith Halverson's spine. As a veteran anthropologist, Meredith Halverson had seen her share of wild theories about human origins, but none had dared use the word author. As the shuttle clamped and the hatch opened, Meredith Halverson stepped into Evaluation Nexus's corridor with quick,
Greetings,
controlled
Halverson.
strides.
Quinn,
Waiting just outside was Lysander Quinn, his angular crystalline uniform catching the station lights in cold shards.
Ambassador Halverson.
"Welcome to Evaluation
We are pleased you
Nexus,
could join us
Meredith
on such short
Halverson,"
notice.
Lysander Quinn said, his tone polite but tight. "I suppose humanity
fiddling
couldn't
with that
arrive
name,
here as
Lysander?
quietly as other civilizations," Meredith Halverson replied, her lips
It's a risk,
twitching though her
Meredith,
eyes did not smile.
one we
As
may
they
have to
walked,
take.
Lysander Quinn summarized the
understand,
entire
Stacks.
incident in room B17 for Meredith Halverson.
Hold.
When he reached the part where Oracle 9 called Ariana Keller an author proxy, Meredith Halverson stopped in the middle of the corridor.
You were
"Are
there,
you
weren't
sure the translator isn't
ready.
mistaken, Lysander Quinn?" Meredith Halverson asked,
I was.
her voice dropping lower. "Oracle 9 doesn't
Data
use the
confirms
translator
the
for these
stable
log
temporal
layers,"
displacement
Lysander
field.
Quinn replied. "That is native notation." They stopped before a small conference room where Ariana Keller and Threxian Darrell were already waiting. When the door opened, Ariana Keller immediately recognized Meredith Halverson's
Meredith?
face from remote lectures on Earth. The sensation of meeting a
There's
mentor and being summoned to the principal's office at the same time left Ariana Keller flustered. "It's an honor to meet you in person, Ariana Keller," Meredith Halverson said, pulling out a chair opposite her. "I'm not sure honor is the right word for today, Meredith
I am here
Halverson,"
to help.
Ariana Keller replied softly. Threxian Darrell shut off his personal hollow and leaned toward the center of the table, his many eyes passing over each of them in turn. We can begin by letting Oracle 9 present the exam's design in its own words, Threxy and Darrell suggested. The ceiling dimmed as the hollow system activated, projecting a massive three-dimensional model of the civilization exam in front of Ariana Keller. The framework displayed layers of criteria, from technology to ethics and governance, linked by thin strands of light. Oracle 9's voice filled the room, explaining that this was the prime author's revision designed to reduce the risk of power abuse. Meredith Halverson immediately noticed that the ethical criteria were phrased in structures very similar to classical human philosophy. This classification style derives from Kantian traditions and later variants, Meredith Halverson said, pointing at nodes in the model. Hearing those ancient names, Ariana Keller suddenly felt the human history she had studied stretch out to galactic scale. So, the designers of this system drew directly from Earth philosophy, Ariana Keller said, eyes never leaving the glowing nodes. Not just drew from it, Meredith Halverson replied. They refined and expanded it as if it were their native tongue. Threxy and Darrell opened another metadata layer, revealing the field origin schema. Human root. Confirmed. The system identifies this ethical framework as human root, Threxy and Darrell said, and marks it as confirmed. Thus, the prime authors are at least very closely related to humans, Lysander Quinn concluded, his eyes locking onto Ariana Keller. Or they are humans, Meredith Halverson said quietly, as if she didn't want the words to echo too loudly in the room. Ariana Keller leaned back in her chair, feeling as if the word humanity had just become 10 times heavier. Oracle 9, display the context of the prime author's annotations before they triggered the forgetting protocol, Threxy and Darrell requested. The hologram shifted, revealing an ancient galactic map with regions of space marked by spreading red swaths.
It's gone.
Oracle 9 read an old log entry in which the prime authors admitted to having pushed technology beyond their own ability to control it. If we fail, let us forget who we are, Oracle 9 intoned, quoting the annotation Ariana Keller had heard before. If we return, let the exam judge us alongside the other worlds, Oracle 9 continued, then fell completely silent. They didn't just build this system to judge others, Meredith Halverson said. They signed themselves up to be graded too. And now, Oracle 9 believes that moment has arrived through Ariana Keller, Lysander Quinn added. Ariana Keller felt every gaze in the room settle on her like mounting gravity. Oracle 9, display the exam's application history for humanity, Meredith Halverson said, her voice low but firm. A timeline appeared, showing eras of human expansion and crisis, most of them absent from the official history Ariana Keller had studied. At the end of the timeline, a blinking blue marker labeled Final Self-Assessment Window. Active caught Ariana Keller's eye. They scheduled this for themselves long before we were born, Ariana Keller, Meredith Halverson said. So it means we, current humans, are the memory-wiped heirs of the prime authors, Ariana Keller whispered. Not just heirs, Threxy and Darrell said, but subjects placed under judgment by their own ancestors' system. In Ariana Keller's mind, the word intern suddenly felt absurd beside the local author proxy label hovering in the hollow's corner. She understood that from this moment on, every choice Ariana Keller made would not just be personal, but part of humanity's answer to the exam they themselves had written. The High Council Chamber of Evaluation Nexus lay deep in the station's core, a circular well of light with seats arranged in rings around its center. At the floor's center was a circular hollow ring where Oracle 9's data could appear for all council members and Ariana Keller to see. Lysander Quinn stood at the edge of the hollow ring, chairing the emergency session, his voice carrying through the chamber's amplifiers.
Facing decisions that
Across from
echo
Ariana
across
Keller,
the
a
cosmos.
copper-scaled being sat ramrod straight in a dark diplomatic robe. That was Vorath Kelsian. Vorath Kelsian, ambassador of the non-human alliance bloc, was known for a caution bordering on pessimism whenever the balance of power threatened to shift. To Ariana Keller's left sat Meredith Halverson, while Threxian Darrell had taken a seat slightly behind, clutching his storage device like a treasure. We are here to discuss the fact that Oracle 9 has activated a privilege layer labeled Author in connection with humanity and Ariana Keller, Lysander Quinn began. A wave of murmurs rippled through the seats as Ariana Keller's name and the word Author sounded together.
This is a
The
critical
non-human
moment.
alliance bloc demands clear answers, Vorath Kelsian said, his voice like stone grating on metal. If humans are the prime authors, why were we not informed before feeding our data into their system? Vorath Kelsian continued. Meredith Halverson placed her hand on the panel before Ariana Keller, requesting to speak, and the system framed her seat in a subtle speaking halo. I cannot
you for the
speak for all of
recognition.
humanity, Meredith Halverson began, but clearly the prime authors
Our collective
erased themselves
future
from
hinges on
history
the
long
careful
before any of
consideration
us were
every
born.
variable.
Meredith
Ensuring our
Halverson
path
turned to
forward is
Vorath
not only
Kelsian
innovative,
and said
but
that
also
current humans
sustainable.
themselves had only learned
We
of the
have
prime
a very
authors
particular
a few
definition
hours
of
ago.
alliance here.
That makes it more troubling, Vorath Kelsian replied, because it means an entire species carries author heritage without knowing what they bear.
Cannot afford to
All
trust
eyes
the
turned once more to
alliance on
Ariana
this
Keller,
matter.
who tried to sit still, even as the back of her chair felt like a closing trap. Oracle 9. Log concern regarding potential author conflict of interest, Lysander Quinn said, addressing the ceiling
All
where the
council
system mics were
records
embedded.
shall be archived
Oracle
and
9's voice
sealed.
rose from every direction, making Ariana Keller feel as if it were speaking right behind her. Exam integrity compromised, Oracle 9 announced. Author presence confirmed in subject Ariana Keller. Graduation scenario pending. The phrase graduation scenario was instantly translated into dozens of
Graduation
languages
scenario
and hung in the
pending.
air around the hollow ring for everyone, including Ariana Keller, to read. What is graduation in this context, Oracle 9? Meredith Halverson asked, her voice tightening as if she had grabbed hold of a crucial thread. Graduation scenario, transition from single-species
certain
authors
about this
to
analysis?
multi-species co-authored framework, Oracle 9, replied, the corresponding words appearing before Ariana Keller.
Multi-species
In other words,
co-authored
the system
framework.
understands that the era of solitary prime authors is over, Threxian Darrell
Is the
interpreted,
energy
eyes
output from
fixed
the
on the
newly
text.
discovered temporal
But that
anomalies
transition is beginning
far
with an
exceeds
intern
our
named
initial
Ariana
projections.
Keller, Vorath Kelsian interjected, unable to hide his skepticism.
You're sure there is no other
The
way?
system projected a small image of Ariana Keller at the lower edge of the
am.
display, labeled Local Author Proxy, Humanity, as if reminding everyone of the debate's focal point. I did not ask for author power, Ariana Keller said, speaking up for the first time in the session.
We
Ariana
stand
Keller
at a
admitted she hadn't
precipice,
even graduated in anthropology yet,
decisions
and had never
today
once thought about
will
redesigning
echo
the
through
universe.
generations.
That is precisely why we need constraints, Vorath Kelsian said,
I
an
suppose
author
you could
oversight
say
charter
I
that
signed
humanity
up for
and
this.
Ariana Keller must abide by. If the graduation scenario is a co-authored framework, Meredith Halverson said,
We will
then that
proceed
charter
with the
must apply to
updated
everyone,
charter.
not just Ariana Keller. Meredith Halverson reminded them that
Our
the prime
system is
authors had
not
bound
designed
themselves
to
in their
create
logs,
division,
and if humans were truly
but to
their heirs,
foster
they too
unity
must accept
and
being graded
progress
like
for
any other
all.
species. Oracle 9. What are the consequences if we terminate the entire exam
must weigh
system?
the cost of
Lysander
our
Quinn
convictions
asked,
against
posing
the
the question
science
for the
of
whole
inaction.
council and Ariana Keller alike. The
Have the
room's
data
light dimmed
projections
half a level
shifted?
as Oracle 9 calculated, making Ariana Keller feel as though the station itself were holding its breath. 42% of Alliance infrastructure depends on embedded exam protocols, Oracle 9 replied. Critical failure likely if forced shutdown occurs.
Alert.
A chart appeared
Critical
showing that
system
jump
integrity
gates,
at 42%.
information networks, and even power distribution systems all rested on the exam framework the prime authors had built. In other words, we built our house on the scaffolding of their exam, Threxian Darrell said, his eyes gleaming with historical irony. So our practical choice is either to help rewrite the exam or collapse half of civilization, Lysander Quinn concluded, looking toward Vorath Kelsian and Ariana Keller. Vorath Kelsian exhaled, a rasping sound like wind through stone, then proposed a middle path. We accept the graduation scenario, Vorath Kelsian said, but place Ariana Keller in the role of provisional author under multi-species supervision. A co-author council will be formed, and any author-level action, including those proposed by Ariana Keller, must pass a vote, Vorath Kelsian added. Meredith Halverson nodded slowly, acknowledging that it was the only way to honor the prime author's self-binding vow without placing humans above other species. "And what about you, Ariana Keller?" Lysander Quinn asked, for the first time granting her a voice over the system's future. Ariana Keller drew a deep breath, feeling all of humanity's timeline pressing on her lungs, then said she accepted the provisional author role on the condition that no one stood outside the exam. Ariana Keller said that if the prime authors had once signed themselves up to be judged, then humanity and the new council must live by the same principle. Condition proposed by author proxy Ariana Keller logged, Oracle 9 said, hanging the phrase, principle, no species above the exam directly before her. At the session's end, the council voted to accept the graduation scenario and establish the co-author council with Ariana Keller as humanity's provisional author. As everyone filed out, Ariana Keller stayed for a few breaths more, staring at the empty hollow ring where the universe's past and future had just hung. In that moment, Ariana Keller understood that the exam was no longer a secret judgment device, but a shared essay by all species on who they wished to become in the millennia ahead. The deep simulation chamber of Evaluation Nexus lay behind 3 layers of security doors, where only Lysander Quinn, Meredith Halverson, and Ariana Keller were allowed to enter. The final door slid open, revealing a smooth, round room with a dark floor and a single interface chair in the center, waiting for Ariana Keller. The interface chair looked like an ordinary armchair, but the hair-thin cables connecting it to the walls made Ariana Keller think of a nervous system. This is the Author Evaluation Simulation Core, Lysander Quinn said, his eyes fixed on Ariana Keller. Oracle 9 wants to record the behavioral pattern of an author proxy like Ariana Keller before permanently applying it to the system, Lysander Quinn continued. Simply put, this is humanity's final exam, Meredith Halverson added, turning to look at Ariana Keller. Ariana Keller's heart beat faster as she heard the word exam attached to an entire species rather than a single course. You will not be in there alone, Meredith Halverson said softly, placing a hand on Ariana Keller's shoulder. You will carry everything humanity has learned about right and wrong, Meredith Halverson added to Ariana Keller. Ariana Keller nodded once, then walked over and sat in the interface chair, the padding colder than she expected. The thin cables retracted automatically, touching Ariana Keller's neck, temples, and wrists like cool streams of water. Oracle 9's voice sounded directly in Ariana Keller's mind, clearer than any speaker output. Author proxy Ariana Keller, initializing module final evaluation for prime authors, Oracle 9 announced inside her mind. The light in the simulation room around Ariana Keller dimmed, replaced by a simulated star field stretching into infinity. Before Ariana Keller, 3 paths of light materialized, each leading to a different cluster of symbols. Oracle 9 explained to Ariana Keller
Choose wisely,
that each path was a simulation
The
of how
future of the
humanity
network
might
depends on
use
your
author
decision.
power. The left-hand path glowed gold, representing humanity keeping full author control for itself in the simulation shown to Ariana Keller. The middle path shone orange-red, simulating the decision to destroy the exam system entirely, as Oracle 9 explained to Ariana Keller. The right-hand path glowed pale blue, labeled Co-Authored Framework, inviting Ariana Keller into a multi-species co-author simulation. You will not choose immediately, Oracle 9 told Ariana Keller. You will walk each path to its conclusion first. The golden path flared and pulled Ariana Keller toward it until the light around her resolved into an image of a galaxy where humanity formed the center of every map. In the simulation, Ariana Keller saw humanity using author power to prioritize infrastructure, jump gates, and resources for its own colonies first. At first, other species accepted it because the network still functioned. But Oracle 9 showed Ariana Keller peripheral regions beginning to wither. Ariana Keller saw planets where aid ships arrived late and scientific data queued behind the priorities of human worlds. In one simulation scene, Ariana Keller watched an alien medical station wait for author access to save patients, while a human resort received bandwidth first. This is the natural trajectory of unchecked power, Oracle 9 told Ariana Keller. A trajectory the system cannot correct if the author will not correct itself. Ariana Keller understood that the golden path did not lead to immediate catastrophe, but to a quietly unjust universe written by humans. The light around Ariana Keller withdrew, returning her to the three-way junction, where the golden path now seemed dimmer and less alluring. Without giving much pause, Oracle 9 drew Ariana Keller into the orange-red path of the exam destruction simulation. In an instant, Ariana Keller stood within a galactic model where infrastructure nodes tied to the exam began going dark like burnt-out bulbs. Oracle 9 showed Ariana Keller a jump gate shutting down mid-transit, stranding a ship of hundreds in deep space without rescue. Another simulation showed Ariana Keller worlds dependent on the power grid starting to lose artificial atmospheres in segments.
This can't be happening.
This is the cost of yanking the plug, Oracle 9 told Ariana Keller. Even if the exam is flawed, it is embedded in the foundations. Ariana Keller realized that destroying the system might escape the prime author's shadow, but would drag countless lives down that never knew the exam existed. When the orange-red path returned Ariana Keller to the junction, it now looked more like a burning scar than a real choice. Only the pale blue path remained, the one Ariana Keller had unconsciously leaned toward from the start. As Ariana Keller stepped onto the blue path, the scenery shifted into a virtual hall where representatives of dozens of species sat around a map of the exam. Oracle 9 showed Ariana Keller criteria being debated openly, each clause challenged, revised, and logged for all species to access. In the simulation, Ariana Keller saw herself no longer as the sole author, but as one of many proposing changes, with her veto power constrained by the no species above the exam principle. Oracle 9 showed Ariana Keller a distant future, where later generations no longer knew the authors as a single species, but only as a rotating role among mature civilizations. The simulation did not hide from Ariana Keller the conflicts, deadlocks, and mistakes the co-author system would endure, but it showed them corrected through transparency rather than secret decrees. No path is perfect, Oracle 9 told Ariana Keller, but this one minimizes the phase gap between power and responsibility. When Ariana Keller returned to the three-way junction, only the blue path still shone fully, while the other two lingered as pale ghosts.
Pathways
Now
converging.
choose author proxy Ariana Keller, Oracle 9 said, its voice carrying for the first time a low note
The future
that
is
almost
not
resembled
something we
emotion.
wait for.
Ariana Keller stepped toward
It's
the blue
something we
path,
build together.
saying that if this was humanity's final exam, she wanted her answer to always leave room for other voices. Blue light enveloped Ariana Keller, and within it appeared the words, Core Author Preference, Cooperative Constraint, Confirmed. The virtual star field dissolved, and Ariana Keller realized she was back in the interface chair in the simulation chamber. The cables detached gently from Ariana Keller's skin, leaving a tingling sensation on her neck and temples. In front of Ariana Keller, Lysander Quinn and Meredith Halverson waited, their eyes questioning but unwilling to speak, before Oracle 9 did.
Your assignment.
Final evaluation for Prime Authors
The fate of
recorded,
the Alliance
Oracle 9
rests
said,
on your
its
success.
voice resonating evenly around Ariana Keller, Lysander Quinn, and
The
Meredith
new core
Halverson.
principle is now
Core
confirmed.
configuration will align with cooperative multi-species authorship and enforce principle no species above the exam, Oracle 9 continued, as if speaking especially to Ariana Keller.
It's finally over.
Meredith Halverson gave Ariana Keller a small smile, saying that humanity
Your
had
record
chosen
is
an
quite
answer not just for
extensive,
itself,
Ariana.
but for the universe's
I am
exam.
aware, Commander.
Lysander Quinn nodded to Ariana Keller, saying that from now on, every decision of the co-author council would unfold within the frame she had just chosen. As she left the room, Ariana Keller felt her legs tremble slightly, but inside she carried a new steadiness, like the
future
axis
is
of a
ours
reference
to
frame.
discover.
Ariana Keller knew that humanity's final exam had not ended here, but had just begun. And from now on, every generation would have to keep writing the shared answer to the exam. The data heart of Evaluation Nexus shifted rhythm as Oracle 9 switched from exam-only mode to graduation scenario, active. On the highest observation level, Ariana Keller stood beside Meredith Halverson and Lysander Quinn, looking down as the station's rings lit up like a graduation ceremony. The station's external beacons blinked in a completely new pattern, which Oracle 9 described to Ariana Keller as a graduation broadcast to the galaxy. From now on, the exam is no longer an internal secret, Oracle 9 told Ariana Keller, its voice appearing as scrolling text on the observation glass. The first message Oracle 9 sent to all maturity threshold civilizations appeared right in front of Ariana Keller. Notice, the civilization evaluation system designed by the Prime Authors is hereby transitioned into a co-author platform, Oracle 9 read out for Ariana Keller.
Welcome to the co-author
Across different
platform.
corners of the galaxy, Oracle 9 showed Ariana Keller each station and mature world receiving the same message. On Earth, a united human assembly chamber lit up as the message appeared before delegates, including an image of Ariana Keller labeled Author Proxy. On Vorath Kelsian's homeworld, an ancient reptilian council stared at the no species above the exam symbol, projected by Oracle 9. A remote research station, where Threxian Daryl had once interned, flashed before Ariana Keller, showing alien historians hurriedly opening the exam's public logs. Now they all know how they've been graded, Meredith Halverson said, her eyes still on the data stream Ariana Keller was watching. And they also
These
know the
signals are
exam is no
becoming
longer a
harder to
one-way
interpret.
verdict, Ariana Keller replied, enlarging the co-author council emblem with a gesture. The co-author council's first official session convened in a dedicated chamber, where Ariana Keller now had a seat labeled Human Co-Author Delegate. Across from Ariana Keller, Vorath Kelsian sat in the non-human alliance delegate seat, ceremonial robes replaced by a more practical light armor. Threxian. Daryl was not an official delegate, but had an advisory seat behind the main row, eyes gleaming as he saw edit and history buttons appear beside each criterion. As the session opened, Oracle 9 projected the full text of the no species above the exam principle in the middle of the table for Ariana Keller and all delegates to see. This will be the first line of the co-author charter, Lysander Quinn declared from the moderator's position, his gaze sweeping over Ariana Keller and Vorath Kelsian. Ariana Keller used the first proposal right to request that all author votes be publicly logged along with
We
long-term
stand at the
consequence
precipice
simulations.
of a new era.
Vorath Kelsian added an amendment that simulations must
This
include risks
proposal
of
will
inequality
ensure
between
stability,
species, especially
growth,
between humans and smaller
equitable resource
civilizations.
distribution
Ariana Keller's
across
proposal
all
and Vorath
sectors.
Kelsian's amendment passed by majority vote, and Oracle 9 displayed a green checkmark beside both their names. In a brief pause between agenda items, Vorath Kelsian tilted his head and told Ariana Keller privately that he would remain wary, but at least now everyone shared the same rules. "I'll stay wary of my own species too,
agreement, then.
Vorath Kelsian," Ariana Keller replied, half joking,
Move it up
making the
and
corner of his mouth twitch
Indeed.
upward. When the session ended, Oracle 9 sent a summary of the co-author charter to all worlds, listing Ariana Keller merely as first human delegate, not master of the system. On Earth, a group of young anthropology students watched the summary and argued whether Ariana Keller was a hero, a villain,
what we
or
needed.
just the first person to hit enter at the right time.
It's like,
On a
look at her,
frontier
she's typing
colony, children of
intensely.
3 different species pointed at the no species above the exam principle and asked their parents what the words meant.
so funny.
In his study, Threxian Darrell
That's
began
why
drafting a new
Ariana
monograph
Keller,
titled
as a part
From
of the
Prime Authors
council,
to the Co-Author
helped
Council,
establish these
the exam's
principles.
maturity phase, dedicating it to Ariana Keller on the opening page. At the end of the day, Ariana Keller returned to the observation deck, this time alone, facing the sea of stars. Oracle 9 projected a new galactic map before Ariana Keller, where the exam was no longer drawn as a net, but as an open anthology, each species having a chapter. The chapter titled Humanity was marked with a small symbol, annotated that Ariana Keller reopened the file, but would not write the rest alone. "Graduation process initiated," Oracle 9 said again to Ariana Keller, but this time its voice was lighter, like a congratulations rather than a warning. Ariana Keller closed her eyes for a moment, imagining future generations she would never meet, arguing, writing, erasing, then rewriting the shared criteria for the universe. When Ariana Keller opened her eyes, the stars were still there, unchanged, but their meaning to her had shifted. They were no longer the exam's targets, but the place where the exam was being co-written. Ariana Keller turned away from the window and walked back toward the corridor, carrying in each step the feeling that humanity had ceased being a secret pupil and had officially become one of many teachers in the universe's classroom.